Hey everybody, welcome to SportsXcetera. Andrew here from Taz Entertainment with my man Chris.
Hey guys, how's it going today?
We've got a really exciting show lined up for you guys here today. We've got a few topics to go on. As a reminder, this is the sports show for the non-avid sports fan. Just enough information for you to talk about it at the water cooler the next day. We've got a few topics to cover today. The Flames playoff push. First in the Western Conference still, but they are on a 4-game losing skid, aren't they?
Yeah, they've had a bit of a rough patch right now, but stay tuned a little later and we'll go into more detail about that.
We've also got coming up NFL free agency. It's coming up on the 13th. Chris here has made some picks about where some of the big names are likely to land, so we'll be going over that. And lastly, we do have our Xcetera segment. You might have noticed this Hot AF Wing Challenge t-shirt here that I'm wearing. I did actually participate in that.
Stay tuned, it's worth it.
But first, a word from our sponsor.
Hey guys, Chris and Tyler here from Taz Entertainment. You know what kind of bugs me? The last few times I've gone to Flames games, I find that the fans there are really docile. You know, I'm the type of person who's really excitable. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that about me coming out to a karaoke show or anything, but I get really worked up. So I'm at a Flames game and I'm trying to cheer loud and I'm getting excited and I want to be like a little kid again when we were all doing the wave. But it doesn't matter what section I go to, and I bounce around that dome because I'm not like a season ticket holder or anything. So whatever I can get. So I'm always bouncing around. It doesn't seem to matter where I go. The fans are always just so quiet, and I don't understand why. I feel like we should be out there cheering on those Flames, and like these guys have had an exceptional season.
Oh, they're
Chris.
having an amazing season.
So why aren't our fans cheering for them more?
Which brings me to the fact that I know Calgary fans can do it. I'm a diehard Stampeder fan. I go to every home game, and there's been games you can't even talk to the person beside you because the fans are so loud. So come on, Calgary fans. We know you're better than this being quiet at a sports game. Let's support one of the best teams in the NHL, just like we have the best team in the CFL.
Absolutely. Go Flames, go. We want to win the Stanley Cup this year, and that's all we have to say about that. So check out Taz Entertainment if you're looking for something fun to do this weekend. We'll see you next time. This is The Rant.
Welcome back to SportsXcetera. The first thing we wanted to cover today is the Calgary Flames. It's almost playoff time. Right now our Flames are sitting first in the West, but San Jose's right on their heels. Isn't that right, Andrew?
They are. I think they're 1 or 2 points behind right now. We do still have first place in the West, but we're on a 4-game losing skid. Started actually last Saturday at the Jerome McGinley game.
Maybe they got too emotional with Jerome's jersey being retired. I don't know, but they need to get over that.
You know, it was a really emotional experience. I happened to be there. Really great ceremony. They put it together really well. But they couldn't pull out the W in the end, and they couldn't pull it out the next 3 games after. I'm still not concerned, but you know, we need them to pull up their bootstraps and you know, put a few more pucks in the back of the net.
Definitely. Scoring seems to be an issue in this last week. But, you know, I'd rather see the Calgary Flames in a slump now than a month from now, because losing 4 games in April means you're golfing.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to say go Flames go, not golf Flames golf.
But speaking of golf, that brings us to the playoffs. Calgary is sitting first in the Western Conference right now. And the way the playoff system works in the NHL is the first place team in your division will play either the first or second wildcard team, depending if you're first or second in the conference. Right now, Calgary's sitting first, so it looks like if the season were to end today, they would play the Minnesota Wild, which I think is a great matchup for Calgary to start the playoffs.
Absolutely.
The last thing I want to see is us go falling into second in our division. That means we'll end up playing Vegas in a playoff round. And I would rather see San Jose play Vegas, and they can beat each other up.
Absolutely. And, you know, I think it would be good for the NHL, too. You've got that kind of West Coast rivalry. San Jose, basically in the Bay Area, and Las Vegas. Very close geographically. It'd almost be like a Calgary-Edmonton or a Calgary-Vancouver series. So I think it would be good for the Flames and for the NHL, too.
Yeah, I think it would be great. I do believe they played each other last year in the playoffs, and it was a great series. But getting back to what we care about, the Calgary Flames. You know, we've only got 14 games left in the season. I think Calgary is pretty much a lock to make the playoffs. They have not mathematically clinched, but it's a matter of time. So the other teams they could end up facing could be Dallas, could be Arizona. My big thing is we need that home ice advantage. Taking first in the conference means we would have Game 7 at home when it happens. And playing Game 7...
If it gets to a Game 7, of course.
If it does. But playing Game 7 in front of your home fans, letting them pump you up, is amazing. You know, I hate to bring up the 2004 run, but if Game 7 had been in the Dome and not down in Tampa Bay, it might have been a different story. Although we do know Game 6 won the Stanley Cup that year.
Absolutely.
We've covered that enough.
It was in. Hashtag it was in. You know what? Let's make that a trending hashtag. Hashtag it was in 04. Hit it up in the comments there and tag that with any other Flames post that you may have. Hashtag it was in 04. Let's do that for the playoffs.
All right, I think we've kind of covered the Flames quite well this morning, but what I wanted to cover is some of the other sports teams here in Calgary. This past Friday was International Women's Day, so I wanted to congratulate the Calgary Inferno for making the playoffs. They clinched a playoff spot, so all Calgary sports teams seem to be doing great. It's nice to see that this wonderful city we live in has a vibrant sports atmosphere.
Absolutely. They've been doing phenomenal, and the CWHL is actually, it's a fledgling league, but it's been growing. They've got teams in Canada, teams in the US. They actually have one in China as well.
Yeah, I think that's great that they're trying to grow the game internationally, because everyone talks about women's hockey and says, oh, there's Canada and US and that's it. Well, this league is trying to make sure that other countries are getting better at our game.
Absolutely. And it is our game. We're Canadians. Let's face it, hockey is our game.
Secondly, our hitmen. You know, they surprised me. Early in the season, I thought we had a young team that was just going to be a rough rebuilding year, but they've clinched the playoff spots themselves. Way to go, hitmen. I am so impressed with you guys. These are the NHL stars of the future. We get to watch them here in the Dome. And it's a great atmosphere to go to game. I don't know if you've ever been to a Hitman game, Andrew, have you?
I actually had Hitman season tickets for a couple of years. I've been to quite a few Hitman games. You know, I remember, back in the day watching Brad Moran, even...
Pavel Brendel played for
Pavel Brendel, and perhaps the biggest name from the Ducks.
Ryan Getzlaf.
Exactly, Ryan Getzlaf. I was forgetting his name there for a moment.
Well,
perhaps the biggest name. Who the hell is he?
Yeah, that's true.
But Ryan Getzlaf, of course, one of the most recognizable names coming from the Calgary Hitmen. And of course, you know, the Western Hockey League, they are, home to a ton of NHL superstars. Jerome McGinley, of course, who they just retired his jersey. He played for the Kamloops Blazers. So, when you see junior hockey, it really is seeing the stars of the future. And I can't wait to see the playoff run for the Hitmen. And maybe they can head up the Memorial Cup this year.
Maybe, and it's an affordable experience for you to go with your friends, your family. So check out the Hitmen, they're a great time. Another great affordable experience is our Calgary Roughnecks. They're not having the best of years, they're sitting third in their division, fighting for a playoff lives, but you know what, they're fun to watch. They play music the entire game. It's a party atmosphere, kind of like when you come down to karaoke at a Taz Entertainment show. It's a party atmosphere.
Absolutely.
I can remember in 2004 when the Roughnecks won the NLL championship at the Dome. I was down there for that game. They gave us out black thunder sticks. I was hitting those sticks together so hard by the end of the game where my hand was holding these thunder sticks was white because it was a party. Everyone in the building was having a blast, which brings me to something we will cover a little later. Stay tuned for the rant. That's all I'm going to say on that one.
Next up, we've got the NFL free agency coming up. Now, I know that, Chris, you've made a few picks with respect to which of the big names are likely to land with which teams. So let's start off with Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell, this guy sat out last season. He didn't want to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers so much, he missed an entire NFL season.
And I don't blame him. I wouldn't play for the Steelers either.
But he is one of the best running backs in this league. And I honestly think he wants to market himself. And where better to market yourself? He's not going to be able to go to the Giants. They have Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
So he's going to go to the Jets. Go to New York. He'll get advertising dollars, market himself, and maybe he'll actually make the Jets relevant for 1 year or two.
And maybe they could even have a hashtag or something like Lenny and the Jets. No?
Oh, that was bad. That was bad. The second
That went over like a fart in church.
Yeah, the second free agent I was going to talk about today is Nick Foles. Nick Foles led the Philadelphia Eagles to not this past Super Bowl, but the previous. He's going to get paid. And what team needs a quarterback more than any team out there? The Jacksonville Jaguars. They've got Blake Bortles. He's garbage. So I think Nick Foles is going to get paid, and he's going to end up in Jacksonville. Is he going to turn that team around? No. But that's where he's going to end up. Any thoughts on that?
I have to agree. There's another team that really does need a lot of help. And, I know you might want to fight me on this, but it's the 49ers. I know that's your team.
Hey, we got Jimmy G.
That's true. But, I think the 49ers in a few years will be a force to be reckoned with. But, I don't think he's going to land there. I think they could use his services, though.
I don't think they need Nick Foles, but who I do think the 49ers need is Earl Thomas. He's a great safety. Reunite him with Richard Sherman back in the defensive backfield. It can only mean good things. And I know I'm a little biased that I'd love to see him go there. Heck, I'd love to see Le'Veon Bell in a Niners jersey, but I just don't see that happening.
Right.
But bringing Earl Thomas and Richard Sherman back together, they're good friends. I think the leadership they could give a defense would be amazing.
As a Seahawks fan myself, which is one of the big-time rivals of the 49ers, I think that would really solidify that rivalry. Again, having Sherman and Thomas reunited again, almost taking that Legion of Boom down to San Francisco. As much as I'd hate to see that as a Seahawks fan, I think that would be great for the Niners.
Yeah, I'm hoping something like that happens. I want to see what you guys all think. Comment on this video and let us know, who do you think's going to go where? And maybe we'll see if you're right or I'm right. Or we all could be wrong, because, these guys are going to get offered contracts from multiple teams.
Maybe Le'Veon Bell is going to retire. Who knows?
So this brings us to the Xcetera part of our show. This last week was the last week of the Hudson's Hot AF Challenge. So Andrew and I went down there so he could do the challenge. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm really going to say about this. Now here's the footage.
Check it out.
Hey everybody, Chris here from SportsXcetera. I'm here with Andrew. He's about to do the Hot AF Challenge at Hudson Sports Bar. It's going to be good. Check it out. Andrew, how you feeling right now there, brother?
That was intense. It didn't really even hit me until after I completed the challenge. That's when the pain really set in. But I did complete it. I downed all 10 wings within the 2-minute time frame. So I got free wings for a year and this nifty t-shirts. Hot AF Wing Challenge.
It was fun to watch. You chugging 2 glasses of milk because you were redder than your beard.
Yeah.
You were in rough shape, weren't you?
That was the 3rd worst pain I'd ever experienced.
So you heard it from him. That was the 3rd worst pain. These wings are hot. That's why I didn't do the challenge. I was maybe going to, but I'm a chicken. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed watching Andrew eat those wings. That was hilarious.
I hope you enjoyed it more than I did, because that was not pleasant.
Have a good one.
Wow, that was great, Andrew. So how did that feel for you?
It was really painful. I took at least a day to recover. I had a couple of pint glasses of milk immediately after. It was, they were literally the hottest wings I have ever eaten in my entire life. And yeah, I mean, if you've tuned into our show a couple weeks ago there, where we did the prayer fire challenge to see which hot sauce was the best tasting, you all know that I'm a hot sauce aficionado. I have to say, those were definitely hot AF. But hey, been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
Well, one funny thing I found about it, and it's not on film, but right after Andrew finished that challenge, because I was planning on doing it, the first thing Andrew did is looked at me and he's like, "Don't do it, God, no, don't do it." So I chickened out, because, well...
Chickened out.
Exactly. But speaking of chicken wings, we had a lot of fun with this. Now, we actually have a prize to give away. We ended up getting one of the number 12 t-shirts from Aginla's retirement ceremony. So we're giving that away. What we need you to do is post pictures of you eating your hot wings. Post them.
Hot wings, teriyaki wings, any chicken wings really. Make sure that you post those on either on Facebook or on Instagram. Use the hashtag SportsXcetera so we can track those. Or if you like, just pop them down in the comments below on this video on YouTube, and whoever we decide has the best photo, we're gonna give you that t-shirt. It's a great memento, and it was really nice to see those. You know, they had them laid out on the seats. Most of them were red. They had some white ones though that formed the number 12 in some of the sections. So that was really cool to see. And yeah, we've got one of those red shirts coming out to one of our lucky winners who uses that SportsXcetera hashtag, or who posted there in the comments on this video.
Just one last little thing that we didn't cover a little earlier is our Flames' upcoming games this week. We did mention they play tonight, 7:30 against Vegas. Big game, big game. We need the W.
Absolutely.
They play Tuesday versus the Devils at the Dome, Friday versus the Rangers at the Dome, and Saturday, 5 o'clock versus the Jets. Both games during the week are 7 o'clock. Now, be sure to come down to Gators here, check out the game. We got 35-cent wings down here for every Flames game. So guys, that basically brings us to the end of the show. Don't forget, the Flames play 4 times this week. They play tonight against Vegas. Then they play on Tuesday versus the Devils, Friday versus the Rangers, and Saturday versus the Jets. Come on down here to Gators to watch the games. They got 35-cent wings for every game. It's a great place to watch a hockey game.
Don't forget about that wing segment, by the way, too, to win that t-shirt. Hashtag SportsXcetera on Facebook or Instagram, or just comment below on the video here on YouTube.
Subscribe, like, share. We need you guys' help to get more followers so this show can be even better. Thanks again. Have a great week, everybody.
We'll see you next time.